Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we're talking about Spider-Verse Team Up issue number 2. That's right, fans. This book features Miles Morales Spider-Man, younger Spider-Man, and 1960s Spider-Man, and then it also has another story in here with Spider-Gwen, and it has another version of Peter Parker in here that I'll reveal later. So the first story, which is called Too Many Spider-Man, which is featuring the 67 Spider-Man, is written by Christos Gage, and the pencils are done by David Williams. Now, if you read Spider-Verse already, or Amazing Spider-Man issue number 11, you got to see in the main story that these guys got thrusted into the 60s TV series, or animated series, which was pretty funny. And you get to see all that type of drawings and all their all their dialogue and things like that. So it was really funny. You get to see the younger Spider-Man talking to the audience out there, which I thought was really fun. And it's really good to see some of these villains back in the day, just no detail whatsoever. You got Electro and Vulture, you got Green Goblin in here. So the animation you can see is just really bad and really cheesy, but it fits the book because it's the 60s, and I love that in this particular story. So what do I think about the actual issue? Well, it's really plain straightforward in this book, just probably like the TV show. You get your Spider-Man flying around town trying to find a Daily Bugle. It's a pretty straightforward building that just says Daily Bugle with 6 windows across, and that's it. And they come across your 1960s Spider-Man, and they try to recruit him, trying to tell him, what's going on, that they're another dimension. They're trying to recruit them to try to stop the bad guys, and that's basically what happens. And in the beginning, 60 Spider-Man doesn't really believe him. He uses this crazy web blanket, and they're all exaggerative about everything that's going on. And it's just so funny when you read this. You're going to see the dialogue in here, and it's just going to make you laugh out loud, which is really, really funny. And then they come across the bad guys here. They come across the Electro, Green Goblin, Scorpion, and they start doing battle against these guys. And he comes against this invisible dude with this ray gun, and they start shocking them, and they're paralyzed on the floor, and they can't move. And then what happens is they wind up capturing them, and they capture them in a traditional web, and the police are left with the note, and it just says, "From your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." And that's how the issue winds up going off, and and they wind up going off, and they're going to go to a different world to find other Spider-Men, because that was their job, that was their task in Amazing Spider-Man issue 11. So now when you go on to the next story, which is written by Jerry Conway, and the artwork in this one was done by Dave Williams and Andrew Glossley, and Jerry Conway has actually wrote a lot of other Spider-Man books in the past, and this one has to deal with the all-famous new SpiderGwen. So you get to see her in the beginning of this issue chasing a Hobgoblin character. You're like, oh, dude, she's chasing a Hobgoblin person. And next thing you see that Verda chick, and she has her little hounds, which comprises of all types of spider villains from the past that have like these muzzles on them or whatever. So she's chasing after this Hobgoblin character. So you've got to think that it's a Spider-Man, it's a Peter Parker, but in a Hobgoblin costume. So she comes across him, and she pulls him to the side, and you wind up seeing that it is, yes, a Peter Parker. And even though this is a short story here, you wind up seeing that Peter comes face to face with Gwen for the first time since she has died. And the reason why he has become a Hobgoblin, he relives the story. He blames himself for her death. And what happens is he winds up killing the Green Goblin, and then the next best thing he had to do was kill his own self, which was Spider-Man himself. So that's how the Hobgoblin was created in this universe. And she winds up trying to recruit Peter Parker in the whole, we need to stop these guys. But what happens is a big bomb winds up crashing. Verda winds up coming into play here, and Spider-Man sees that Gwen is okay, and he winds up taking matters into his own hands, and winds up blowing himself up, and he winds up sacrificing himself here, and he winds up delaying time in order to get Gwen to escape. This story was very short, but the paneling and the artwork really does a very good job at telling the story here, which I really liked. You see Verda come in, and she winds up grabbing Peter here, rips off the mask, and sits there and comes face to face with him, and you just see him blow her up, and again gives enough time, and he winds up dying with a smile on the face. I mean, again, not much words, but the paneling and the drawing says it all what this story was about. It was about Peter seeing Gwen again, and kind of avenging her death, in the right way, so she could live going forward in another universe. And he just died, happy. And it was just a great, great story. So between both of these mini stories, this was a great tie-in book. I really enjoyed it. There were fun stories, comical story, more serious story, but it had some great characters in here. Just reassures me that the Gwen Stacy's Spider-Woman series is going to be very, very well done, and I just can't wait to read it. So after reading this book, guys, I'm going to give this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I probably would have wanted to see the stories reversed. I wanted to see more Spider-Gwen here, and maybe less of the top story. That's my only gripe about it, because I really like Spider-Gwen, and I love the story that presented itself there. So, yep, 4.5 out of 5 stars from me. Guys, leave me your comments below what you thought of this particular tie-in book. And fans, if you want to see more of my reviews, you can check out Comic Frontline. And until then, guys, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care, fans.